Hey, training camp's not too far away. I thought where I direct this is like, as we head towards the end of July, what's your biggest concern with this team?
My biggest concern is going to be what's going on the defensive line. I mean, they made a couple of free agent signings, but they weren't splashes. They're guys that are going to play well in the system. My big concern is the blind spot that general manager Brandon Beane seems to have line-wise, both offensive and defensive. But if we're talking defensive right now, Boogie Basham, top 3-round pick, it doesn't look like he's going to be here much longer. A.J. Epinesa has been a bit of a disappointment after Von Miller went down last year. I love Greg Rousseau. Greg Rousseau's numbers were not the same, obviously, without having Von Miller across the way. It seems like unless they're bringing in free agents to fill gaps, they don't have the ability to run guys out there, and they run deep. They're doing constant rotations on that defensive line. I need to see the defensive line perform better to give Kyer Elam an opportunity at corner to blossom in what he is and give Tre'Davious White an opportunity to come fully back from that.
The game being the way it is right now, very much offensively focused, though, it surprises me that your biggest problem's on the defensive side.
I have no concerns with the Bills' offense. I've been saying this all off season long. Look, when you're going to roll the ball out with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, I'm expecting a bounce back year from him. This could be the last year, whether he plays phenomenal or plays terribly. The Bills either can't afford him or may not want to pay him. Exactly, yes. I mean, this could be the last year you have these guys all together. You made some great, again, depth free agent signings as wide receiver. Not worried about the offense. Defensive line is what hurt them, I believe, the most last season, especially after Von went down. Figure it out.
I think McDermott will be fine. I think McDermott taking over the defense, I think he'll just tighten it up. It's just the way he sort of plays. There are some concerns with subs and how depth and age, that also plays a very big role on the defensive end. It's a long NFL season. I think the biggest concern here is camaraderie. And I know you covered all the different things going in, but I want to see them all in camp together. It's very much easy to play fake, and I kind of like guys, I don't like guys, I'm into guys, I'm ready to go. You can't fake it when you're at training camp. You can't fake it that long. Allen is saying everything right. Diggs hasn't said too much. I got to see these guys out on a field together for 2 to 3 hours and really see if this team has camaraderie. If they don't, you have a problem. If they do, they play good.
Look, I don't have to like you. You guys don't have to get along to play. Look, this team was not getting along, and they rattled off, 7 straight wins to finish the season before they lost that game against Cincinnati?
This is long uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. I get workplace. I get all of that stuff. Some stuff can simmer too long.
Where was I going, Bill?
The bickering Bills.
Thank you. Exactly. The Bills did not get good and start going to Super Bowls until they hated each other. Like, people forget, Andre Reed, on his way home from games, was calling in sports talk shows to complain about what his quarterback and running back were doing during a game. That actually happened. Could you imagine, in a world of social media, what would happen if Stephon Diggs called up Chopin the Bulldog, who do the post-game show on GR from Buffalo, and started complaining about what Josh Allen was doing? That would be insane.
So you're comfortable with the bickering, Bill?
Yes. Absolutely.
You're okay with people not liking each other?
That talent level was so high.
Okay, but you look at the talent level the Bills have now. Look, I know it's hard to compare eras, and you're right. You had 4 Hall of Famers on that roster just off the top of your head. However, Stephon Diggs is one of the best wide receivers in the league, as is Josh Allen. Your defense is stacked with guys that can make plays.
But you're worried about?
No, the defensive line I am.
Yes.
You don't have to like each other. You don't have to get along. Go out there and play football.
Mine's on the defensive side, too. I think McDermott taking on the responsibilities as defensive coordinator is a major step back. Because he's the head coach. He has so many other things to think about.
But you just mentioned before how important offense is. That camaraderie on that offense is that team. Let's be honest with you.
Sure.
They basically run that. If everybody's not on the same page, if everybody's not cohesive in this offense, you can get steamrolled very quickly.
Okay, but here's the thing. The fact that you said the offense is key, I think plays into why Bill should be more worried. Offensive play callers that are head coaches have been more successful than defensive play callers that are head coaches, because once that we get to a 3rd and long, if I'm not calling the defense, I can start focusing on what I want to do offensively. If we're in 3rd and long and I'm Sean McDermott, I have to focus on that play that's happening.
Andy Reid has an offensive coordinator. He's the offensive genius. He's still got a guy. McDermott doesn't have a guy anymore.
It's been 5 months of this play of, I don't like these guys. I don't feel comfortable. I won't show up at the camp. I will show up in the camp. When they get to camp, we will see, and you will, every single day, how this feels.
To his point, there's I can't remember who it was, but somebody on the radio, was a former player, analyst, and said that the most talented teams don't usually win. It's the teams that get along and play well together.
Okay, but the Bills have been the definition of kumbaya the last 5-6 years. I told you I did not believe in culture. I am wrong.
Which is great. You're 13-3, but at the end of the season, when things started to go haywire with Diggs, what happened?
But that was only last
they
year.
Get blown out at home.
But what about the 2 years before, right? Where you make it to the AFC Championship, you get blown out in Kansas City. Where you get to Kansas City and you have 13 seconds left with the lead and you're not able to pull it out. Look, the results haven't been there when they're getting along. So what's the difference at this point?
So you don't believe in culture, but so you believe in chaos.
I believe in culture.
We all like chaos.
As I love chaos.
That's great for our show.
Except when it comes to my Buffalo Bills.